The narrator took a calm breath, looked at those sitting around him, and said, "It happened one day that a man lived in a small village. At the edge of the village stood an old stone tower. No one ever climbed it, no one paid it any attention, and it had been there for as long as anyone could remember. One evening, the man decided to climb it, not for any important reason, but simply because curiosity had knocked on his door. Carrying a small lamp, he began his ascent. The staircase spiraled inside the tower, step by step by step. He believed that the more he climbed, the closer he got to the end. But the tower was taller, older, and far quieter than he had ever imagined. Through every small window he passed, he saw a different part of the village. From one window, he saw the river, from another, the fields, and from a third, the roads. He paused, reflected, and said, "Strange. I am in the exact same place, yet the view keeps changing." He continued climbing until he reached the summit. He expected to find something grand, a treasure, a secret, or a room filled with ancient manuscripts. But he found nothing except an old wooden chair and a wide window that overlooked everything. He sat down, placed the lamp beside him, and looked out at the village. It seemed so tiny from that height, to the extent that the things that once appeared massive now looked insignificant, and the worries that used to consume him suddenly felt so far away. He remained seated until he noticed something he had never seen before. There were two paths running through the village. One was perfectly straight, while the other was full of twists and turns. The villagers always preferred the straight path, while only a few ever walked the winding one. When he returned to the village, he asked a wise old man about it. The old man smiled and said, "That winding path does not get you there faster, but it shows you more." Silence fell. Then the old man continued, "It holds a small spring, a rock carved with the marks of time, a tree where travelers find rest, and the most beautiful view of the setting sun. But those who are in a hurry see none of that." The man pondered his words for days, until he finally understood. Some people live their entire lives as if they are on a straight path, hurrying, arriving, and then hurrying all over again. Meanwhile, others pause at the spring, rest under the shade of the tree, and look at the sunset. For that reason, they might not arrive first, but they see so much more. Perhaps the most beautiful things in life are not found at the end of the road, but along its sides. Just as the wise old man spoke of the winding path that reveals the world's hidden beauty, the Greek poet Cavafy beautifully echoes this truth in his masterpiece, Ithaca. He reminds us that the destination is merely the spark, but the true wealth is gathered along the way. Keep Ithaca always in your mind. Arriving there is what you're destined for. But don't hurry the journey at all. Better if it lasts for years. The treasure is never the hollow peak of the tower, nor the final stop of the journey. The true masterpiece of living belongs to those who, instead of rushing blindly to the finish line, choose to embrace the curves of the road, savoring the shade of the tree, the warmth of the sunset, and the wisdom born from every step.